the program material is just, it is really good stuff. I go home every day and tell my family about it. It's like, you've got to learn this. It is just it's really good stuff.
We're coming in, we're doing something that's a lot different, but we're doing it in a fun and approachable way. It's not kind of a lecture format where I stand up and say, conflict resolution is this is what perceptions are, stereotyping is this. We make it a learning experience and a fun learning experience for them.
In talking with them during lunch, they would tell me about conflicts that they do have with their brothers and sisters, with their parents, and I would ask them, do you think you learned something today that you can take back and use with your siblings and use with your parents? And they always thought that they had learned something that they could use later.
End of the third week of training, my mom said, just straight up said to me, if you stay in AmeriCorps, we're not going to support you anyway. She feels like it's a worthwhile activity, and she's like, it's great that you want to help people, but you're not getting enough money. And she also thinks that this is a project for rich kids to do. And I was like, that's really surprising to me, because if my mother would have came to the PLC and seeing how many people are not living with their parents, not relying on their parents, and people living at the Peace House, people living in apartments with 4 other people, and so many people on food stamps.
In getting to know each other, we can, kind of synchronize better, and just everything flows better the more we know each other and trust each other.
There's a couple times you do trainings with certain groups of students, even local schools, and you are just blown away. And it makes all the other stuff that happened during the year that was kind of maybe not the most positive or the best experience, it makes that all that much more powerful.
Everything that we do seems to have an aspect of beauty attached to it. The people that all work at AmeriCorps and with the Peace Learning Center are all beautiful people. The ideas that we talk about and the discussions that we have are usually pretty good like that too. Places that we go are always really beautiful. And smiling kids, that's one of my favorite things.
I'm not 100% peaceful in my personal life. There's times that I don't use some of the skills that I've learned at the Peace Learning Center, and that's the truth. But from where I was 3 years ago to where I am now, it's been such a drastic change. And I think that, the skills that I've learned here are skills that everyone needs in life to succeed.
I do see that this can make such a difference in the world, in people's lives. Well, we were at Warren this week, working with the freshmen. My co-facilitators pretty much took it and ran with it, and they did such a good job. And the kids, I don't know if it was because I wasn't so involved that I was able to kind of sit back and watch how the kids responded more than I usually do, because I get so focused on the process when I'm doing it. So I really got to watch the kids and their responses and the way they, their facial expressions, and that makes me feel good about what the Peace Learning Center does.
I have kids from camp that still send me emails, and they tell me things about maybe a fight happened in school the other day or an argument that they had, and they're kind of looking towards me as a mentor, and that's something that's really, really awesome to me.
Okay, I'm going to sign a contract that says for a year I've got to complete this many hours. That's kind of scary. But I think that I don't think there's a person in my life that can't benefit from this and can't benefit from the way that the Peace Learning Center gets you to think, because it becomes a lot more of a we type thinking instead of a me type thinking.
It's one of the things that I want to try and impart to the first year members in the future, is that none of the kids coming in are bad kids.
that we should look at every single one of them that's coming off the bus as like a smart, amazing, interesting, funny, beautiful kid.
I really lived my work this year, whereas so many times you go in, you do your work, you go home and you're done. I really lived with it all year. And I'm much more comfortable now with my facilitation skills. And that really happened towards the end too. It was strange the way it happened, because I had reached a point where I didn't think I was going to come back. I was so full of doubt about myself. And once I made that decision, okay, I'm not going to come back, it just got easier all of a sudden. I stopped questioning myself. I stopped worrying about it. I just did it. I just went in and did what we do, and it was easy again. So it really was a mind thing that I did to myself. I already look back on it with good memories and really gratitude that I was able to find this and be part of this.
Coming back for a second year was no question to me whatsoever, because I loved doing it so much. Like, it was so great. I had so much attachment with so many kids. And I feel like I really did actually make a difference.
I'm very thankful for this experience. I think the Peace Learning Center is one of a kind. I think AmeriCorps itself is one of a kind. It's something that needs to be there.